Like, you can't gang bang and thug in the streets and get money. Oh, you dumb motherfuckers used to always tell me, you can't gang get money. You gotta pick one. Well, bitch, I pick both and look what I got. Hell no.
On the morning of July 23, 2025, Gwinnett County was shaken when they were struck by a horrifying crime. A famous rapper had allegedly kidnapped his buddy and killed him at a church. At Cannon United Methodist Church on Webb Gin House Road, the body of 28-year-old Oscar Cruz was found. He had been shot 17 times, his final moments playing out in a place meant for peace and prayer. This wasn't random violence. What led Oscar there began with a bond that blurred the line between friendship and betrayal, a connection that promised loyalty but ended in devastation. At the center of it all was 31-year-old Michael L. Golden, better known as OTF Boona, a rapper whose past was already marked by violence. But what really drove the betrayal, and who else may have known, remains a haunting question. This is the life and death of Oscar Cruz.
That was the last place I would think you would see something like that. You always hear it's a random event, but to the people that are impacted by it, it's not random. It's their life, and this is our community. So we want to make sure everything can get back to the safe place that we're accustomed to.
His story takes us to the city of Snellville, located in the heart of Gwinnett County, a city often recognized for its family-oriented neighborhoods, thriving schools, and strong sense of community. It sits just outside Atlanta, far enough to enjoy suburban calm, yet close enough to feel the energy of the city. For many, Snellville is seen as a safe place to raise children, a town where the good side of suburban living flourishes. But, like much of Gwinnett County, it has also seen its share of crime. Over the years, rising incidents of violence and drug-related offenses have chipped away at its image, leaving some residents weary. It was against this backdrop of contrasts, a city of peace shadowed by crime, that Oscar Cruz's story would unfold. The victim was identified as 28-year-old Oscar Alexis Cruz, known to friends and family as Oz. Born in 1997, he grew up in Lawrenceville, Georgia, where he became known as a devoted son, a caring brother, and above all, a loving father to his young son Hendrix. Friends described him as someone whose presence brought light into every room. He was kind-hearted, compassionate, and quietly generous, the type of man who supported others without expecting recognition. To those who knew him, Oscar was not just a family man, but also a figure of resilience and warmth in the Latino community of Gwinnett County. Oscar's life was rooted in love and responsibility. He worked hard to provide for his family, building a future for his young child while staying connected to his community. Those around him admired his steady nature and the way he embraced fatherhood with pride. His story should have been one of growth and legacy. His loved ones often said that he carried himself with quiet dignity, showing by example what it meant to be strong yet gentle, ambitious yet grounded. Beyond being a father, Oscar was a trusted friend and loyal companion to those close to him. He made time for family gatherings, encouraged those around him to pursue their goals, and never hesitated to offer a helping hand when someone was in need. In his community, he was seen as a man who represented hope and responsibility, someone others could lean on. Yet beneath the surface, events were quietly aligning that would pull him into the path of danger. The life he built with love and care would soon be tested in ways that no one could have foreseen, setting the stage for a devastating betrayal.
What's going on? For the
Oh, yeah, you got a tray five? Yeah, my bitch be smoking that. Let me see. Damn, you got that Zoba. How much is it here?
203.5.
200 a tray five?
203.5.
Hell no, I know 200 no tray five. Hello? Hey, dude, low, he talking about 200 a tray five.
What's up, man? How you doing,
Yeah, he talking about 200 a tray.
200 a what?
He ain't got no motherfucking bubble rub.
$200 shit right
He ain't got no motherfucking gelato. He ain't got no motherfucking Undertaker. He ain't got no motherfucking Kane. He ain't got no motherfucking. Oh, damn, y'all done got out on him. Damn, I ain't know that.
I'm gonna catch y'all, boys.
Somewhere along the way, Oscar crossed paths with a man whose world was far different from his own. Their association began quietly, a friendship, or at least what Oscar may have believed to be one. On the outside, it looked like a bond taking shape, but in truth, the reality of their connection was far less certain and would never be fully established. But what looked on the outside like a bond would later prove to be a devastating miscalculation. The relationship would set into motion a betrayal that no one close to Oscar could have imagined. That man was Michael L. Golden, better known in rap circles as OTF Boona. Before the tragedy that connected their names forever, Golden was already a figure surrounded by controversy and violence. To understand how their worlds collided, it is necessary to first look closely at who Michael Golden really was.
Could've said been minutes, call the body, bro, be ready to snap. Tell him get in that car, we gon' pull up better be ready. Crack, shoot him with 2 in the chest, and soon you spin, hit him with 4 in the back. That's how you dust that back off. You ain't never caught shit, you ain't never let that mark off. You ain't never had no blick out, stop at a law, then you scratch off. You ain't never did no eye shit, you ain't never go shit, you ain't never flip no truck.
His public persona as part of Chicago's Only the Family crew often projected loyalty and toughness, but beneath that image lay a long, well-documented history of serious crimes and violent behavior. His criminal record stretched back years, marked by repeated clashes with law enforcement. In 2017, he faced charges for robbery with a dangerous weapon in Mecklenburg County, a case that reinforced his reputation for intimidation and violence. Though details about the sentencing were limited, it underscored the path he had already chosen, one of confrontation with the law. In 2020, his violent tendencies escalated further. That year in Cumberland County, Golden faced an array of charges: possession of a firearm by a felon, assault on a female, assault with a deadly weapon, and assault by strangulation. These charges painted the picture of a man who was both dangerous to the public and volatile in his personal relationships.
County tonight.
That's where investigators say a man and a child were in a parking lot outside of Cumberland Mall.
News Edge reporter Denise Dillon joins us live with the latest details. Denise.
Yeah, the happened right in front of these restaurants here at Cumberland Mall. I talked to a couple of people who were eating dinner at the time they heard the shots. They looked out and saw people running for cover.
Like, it was just like a very chaotic moment.
I saw somebody hit the ground, people running.
There were people running and zooming and everything.
And they closed the shutters in the restaurant.
A shootout in the parking lot of Cumberland Mall. Witnesses say they saw people in 2 cars yelling at each other. Then they got out, guns in hand.
We hear gunfire. I peek around. I see the guys coming out of the vehicle that's facing the same direction as us into the vehicle next to them.
Crystal Schmidt says they got back in their cars and sped through the parking lot while one man was leaning out the window, still. In the melee, a man and a young boy, about 8 years old, were both hit by bullets, one in the leg, one in the foot. Police say the child was rushed to the hospital.
And the little boy was such a trooper that he didn't even cry. Nothing. He laid there while this really cool nurse came and bandaged him up.
And Cobb police tell me that while some of the gunmen did get in those cars and leave, others may have still been here at the mall when investigators arrived. At this point, they're still trying to account for everyone who was involved. Reporting live in Cobb County, Denise Dillon, Fox 5 News.
Despite the severity of these accusations, the outcomes resulted in only short jail time and probation, a leniency that allowed him to continue unchecked. Golden's troubles did not end there. In 2021, he was charged in Iredell County for communicating threats. While less severe than his previous cases, it added another mark to his growing list of offenses. Altogether, Golden accumulated at least 3 felonies and 3 misdemeanors after 2016, forming a clear pattern of violence, instability, and disregard for the law. Even his time behind bars did not free him from conflict. In 2020, Golden filed a civil rights lawsuit claiming he had been pepper sprayed and assaulted by corrections officers while incarcerated. Whether true or not, It highlighted how chaos seemed to follow him everywhere, both inside and outside the prison system. Taken together, Michael Golden's past revealed a consistent trail of red flags. Violence, weapons, and intimidation defined his record, showing not an isolated mistake, but a pattern of dangerous behavior. It was this history that he carried into his association with Oscar Cruz, a past that, tragically, foreshadowed what was to come. On the evening of July 22, 2025, everything went dark. It marked the beginning of a chain of events that would spiral into one of the most shocking crimes Gwinnett County had ever seen. Though no exact details remain under investigation, allegations suggest that Oscar Alexis Cruz was taken from his townhouse in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Some accounts claim he was restrained with duct tape or zip ties before being forced into a waiting vehicle. From that moment, the trail of his night is shrouded in mystery. What happened in the following hours has never been fully pieced together, but the fragments paint a chilling picture. Allegations describe Oscar being held against his will, driven away from the life he knew, and led toward a fate no one could have imagined. The tension of those missing hours leave only unanswered questions that would come crashing down with the dawn. By the early hours of July 23rd, his body was discovered in Snellville, riddled with 17 bullets and abandoned in the parking lot of Cannon United Methodist Church, a place of worship turned into the stage for an execution. For investigators, the sheer brutality of the killing raised immediate red flags. This was not a random act of violence. The level of aggression suggested something deeply personal or connected to a larger dispute.
Breaking news.
And the breaking news right now, an investigation into a early morning near a church. I'm Rick Fulbaum, and this happened on Webb Gin House Road. That's in Snellville. Atlanta News First Yasmina Alston is live there now. Yasmina, what do we know?
Well, Rick, I can tell you that the scene has since cleared, but this happened early this morning in the parking lot of the church behind me here in Snellville. We did talk to Gwinnett County Police to get some more details, and they say they responded to Cannon United Methodist Church around 6 a.m. That's where officers discovered the body of a Hispanic male believed to be in his 20s, suffering from at least one gunshot wound. Investigators say someone came across the body this morning and immediately called police. At this time, Gwinnett County investigators say this was an isolated incident.
We do not believe there's any association with the church itself.
And at this time, police have not released any information about a possible suspect. We are also still working to learn more details about who that victim was. Again, we are told it was a Hispanic male believed to be in his 20s. This is still an active and ongoing investigation. Gwinnett County Police said they were canvassing the area as part of their investigations. We'll, of course, update you once we learn more details. Live in Gwinnett County, Yasmina Alston, Atlanta News First.
That was the last place I would think you would see something like that.
Matt Hale lives near the church and says it was surprising the victim was found on its property.
Do like a 4-mile circuit, kind of not too far from there, so I'm walking right by there every day. So to check online and see that something like that's happened was kind of shocking.
Gwinnett County Police say a passerby noticed the victim in the parking lot at around 6 a.m. and called 911. Officers rushed to the scene and found a Hispanic man believed to be in his 20s from a single gunshot wound. It's unclear when the happened or if it even happened there. Police say it doesn't appear to have anything to do with the church.
Still an active investigation, and we do believe it to be an isolated case at this time.
Gwinnett County Police had a number of investigators on scene, including detectives and crime scene techs. They gathered evidence and worked to figure out what happened. Neighbors hope police can solve the case.
You always hear it's a random event, but to the people that are impacted by it, it's not random. It's their life, and this is our community, so we want to make sure everything can get back to the safe place that we're accustomed to.
As of right now, there is no word of any suspect so far. Gwinnett County Police have not identified the victim. If you know anything, you're asked to reach out to Gwinnett County Police. We're live in Gwinnett County tonight.
New details now about the man killed in a Snellville church parking lot. The victim has been identified as Oscar Alexis Cruz. Gwinnett County Police say someone came across the 28-year-old's body yesterday at Cannon United Methodist Church right on Webb Gin House Road. Authorities have not said if they have any suspects, but police did tell us that they believe this was an isolated incident.
Detectives began piecing together Oscar's final hours, and the picture that emerged was one of betrayal. Then came the chilling twist. As the puzzle pieces tightened, detectives found themselves looking toward familiar names in the rap world. Suspicion was no longer distant, it was drawing closer to home. Allegations quickly surfaced that Michael L. Golden, known in rap circles as OTF Boona, was behind the crime. Golden, already known for his violent past, was alleged to have lured Oscar under false pretenses before turning on him. Community members were left stunned. The murder of a young father at a church parking lot, a place associated with peace and sanctuary, sent shockwaves through Gwinnett County. Families who worshipped at Cannon United Methodist Church now found themselves grappling with the horror that their spiritual refuge had become the site of a ruthless execution.
My husband was driving, it was around 7 a.m. leaving to work, and he actually saw the body and saw the officers, and he stopped and he was like, you know, should we be worried?
What makes this mystery even more puzzling is what Abby Gonzalez and her neighbors say they didn't hear at around 6 o'clock Tuesday morning. No gunshots, no screams, no sounds of violence that would explain how a man in his 20s ended up dead with a gun wound.
I have 2 little ones in the house, and we're always outside here in the church, so it makes us, like, you know, feel scared a little bit.
Cannon United Methodist Church is where children play and families gather for worship, not where Gwinnett police usually find themselves searching for clues.
We do not believe there's any association with the church itself.
Police spent the day combing through evidence, and the church canceled preschool classes while detectives investigated.
Thankfully, it wasn't like when the kids were around or anything.
Neighbors are left wondering why this tragedy came to their doorstep.
But we know that we've been living here for 3 years, and nothing like that has ever happened around here, so we're a little calm about that.
Police reassured the public that the church itself had no ties to the crime, but for the community, the symbolism was impossible to ignore. For Oscar's family, the loss was immeasurable. He left behind his young son Hendrix, who will grow up without his father's presence. Friends remembered Oscar as a kind-hearted man who carried light wherever he went. His sister Jessica described him as a light in our lives, words that echoed the grief of everyone who loved him. In the days after his death, Jessica launched a GoFundMe campaign to cover funeral expenses and to provide for Hendrix. The community rallied around them, raising more than $15,000. It was a testament to the impact Oscar had left behind, a sign that even in tragedy, compassion and solidarity could help shoulder the weight of loss. The murder of Oscar Cruz was not just a personal tragedy, but also a symbol of fractured loyalties, the dangers tied to music and street culture, and the devastation born from desperation. 17 gunshots ended his life, but the echoes of that violence still reverberate. As Golden awaits trial, the questions linger. Was this crime the result of financial ruin and betrayal, or the inevitable consequence of a life bound to chaos and volatility? What remains certain is the sorrow left behind. A son without his father, a family robbed of their light, and a community forced to reconcile with the loss of one of its own. Rest in peace, Oscar Cruz. Thank you for watching this story on domestic crimes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true crime cases. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode as we continue to explore stories of lives forever altered by tragedy.